Hi there, welcome to today's video. I've had quite a lot of comments and sort of requests wanting to know how I frame my charcoal drawings when I sort of float frame them, like one of the farmer's shed, which is hung up on the wall over there. I just thought I'd make a little video just explaining how I do that without getting too technical, of course. I'm not an expert framer. I'm going to be framing this one here, this track up to Pentireglaze in charcoal, which has been lightly fixed. So I don't want to sort of smudge it at all. And I'm going to be showing you just quickly how I frame this and all the different components required, because it's quite a challenging frame to make. Unfortunately, this is on quite heavyweight paper, harsh hot press watercolour paper, and it's quite heavyweight, so it's very good for float framing. I'm just going to put that over there safely for a minute. When I make these frames, I use a chunky moulding. There's three other main components. I've cut these board. This is mount board. So it's a conservation grade mount board, so it's not going to interfere with the paper and turn it sort of yellow and things like that. So you've got these, this is the inner board, which I'll show you later what I do with that. This is my mount board, which is going to be on show in the frame. This has got a slight texture to it, which I'll show you again later. This is cut. So basically this is cut to the size of the inside of the frame. So basically the same size as the glass. And this board is cut slightly smaller, probably 3 inches smaller like that. So we've got a little bit of an aperture. If you can see that, quite hard to see really. There you are. You can see the difference. Then we've got a piece of MDF. That's again is cut to the same size as the glass. That is obviously our backing board. We've got these are glass spacers. I've cut 4 of these in like a matte black. Glass goes in, these go in next. This was what separates the drawing from the glass, which is required. And this is our sort of chunky frame. That's all been cut and painted white. I buy them in bare wood, so I paint my own. And we've got this special tape, sort of a gummed linen tape, which I cut into small strips like this. And then we use that to basically glue the boards to the back of the drawing. So it's quite complicated, but I'll try my best to show. But there's a fantastic video by Lion Picture Framing Company on there explaining how to do it in a professional way, not by an artist, but by a framer. So this is just to show you how it goes together. This is the farmer's shed drawing, which is framed in the same way that we're going to be framing this track, which I'm showing you in the video. So that's what it looks like when it's been framed. This drawing is going to be going onto exhibition in Salisbury at this Landscape Open 2025 exhibition, which was an open exhibition, so anybody could enter it. And I chose this particular drawing, this charcoal drawing of the track near Polzeth. Hence why I'm framing it, so I can take it up there. This is the Morso guillotine which I use, which has some very sharp blades in. You have to keep your hands either side of that little shield there, and you chop through the wood with your foot. It's foot operated. Just keep your fingers out of the way at all times and chop your way through the wood to create this lovely neat mitered joint that you can put the wood together with an underpinner, and you have a lovely frame in theory. These blades are very, very sharp. Wood's fairly soft but the blades last quite a long time in cutting through this softwood. If you're using oak and hardwoods, obviously the blades last a bit less time and have to be resharpened sooner. Oh, I'll have a nice rest there, Basil. This is the underpinner which I used to put the pieces of the moulding together. So press down with my foot, again it's foot operated, this V-nail comes up into the back of the wood and joins them together there with a bit of wood glue. And you have a nice tight frame, and this is the chunky frame which I'm using for this particular drawing. And there it is, and it's been painted white. These are the glass spacers which I use. This is like a matte black. These are come in like a 3 meter strip, and I cut these to size using the Morso while Basil watches on. And I hung the frames usually up on the wall so they're safely out the way and don't get damaged. And then I start to put them together on this little table I've got. Right, so I've also got this foam board. It's 5mm thick. We cut this into sort of like little sort of squares. They don't need to be perfect. And then this is what we use to put it together, and I'll show you that later as well. Right, that's just to weight that down. I've got a bowl here with a wet cloth. This is the gummed linen strip. We just press that into there so it's wet on the one side, just damp. Basically, we put this here like this. And we just take that to there. These are the anchor points. I'm going to put 3 on here. This is along the top of the drawing. Usually you just do 2, but because this is quite a size, I'm going to put 3 in. And these are sort of glued to the edge. But it's very light glue, if that makes sense. And what we do, normally you'd have like a silicone paper thing goes along there. What these are the bridge. This is the bridge, called the bridge. These are all technical terms which I've learnt from the Lion picture framing YouTube channel. So this is how I do it. Basically, these that are not glued to the edge. This is important. This allows the paper sort of move and breathe a bit, as it would do with the humidity in a room. And I'm going to run these across the top like this. And basically, we do the same all the way around. I'm not saying this is perfect, because like I said before, I'm not a framer, but it works for me and I've not had a problem with it so far. So I'll continue all the way around now. So that's the anchor here, and that's the bridge. That's called the bridge, and you can see the difference. This one is glued in here, or gum stripped to this part of the board and the drawing like that, and this has left a little gap, so it was room for a bit of movement there. And I put 3 anchor points in. There they are. So we've got 1, 2, 3 anchor points, and the bridges everywhere else all the way around, and just That dries pretty quick, but we'll leave it to dry now. And we'll put the foam board in here now. Alright, now we're going to put some of these bits of foam board on here, using this Gorilla Glue wood glue for this. So basically all we're doing, we're just squirting a bit of that onto there. That goes onto there. So that's that. So we weight that down. So basically, we're going to put that on the top with some books on there. And just put some books. Let's get some on that side. Something like that. Wait for it to dry. Okay. So now we glue. The mount board comes to here now. So that's going to go in here like this. Measure these. So that's 45. This doesn't need to be dead accurate because this paper is, because it's got deckled edges, it's not, that's spot on. By eye, I've done that exactly right, 45mm all the way along. I'm just going to use this board this time to go here, gently put that on, there, here. And that's it. Just got to let that dry. And we can put the frame together. It's next day. This has been left this overnight, and time to take these weights off these books and just double check it's all stuck down. Really. Yeah, see how it's floated. You can see the gap there that we've created with that foam board, you see, and it's stuck with the linen strips up underneath. So that's floated, ready to go in the frame. Just do a quick wipe over, make sure there's no fingerprints in there. Right, so now it's time to put these glass spacers in. These black strips of wood, they go in, so we've got the frame, glass has gone in. Now we're going to place these glass spacers in. So this is what is separating the drawing from the glass. So you just go in like this around the edge. Hopefully they fit. If they don't, I'll just have to recut or take a slit off. But look at that, spot on. I'll just show you where they go in. This is where the glass spacers slot in. So there's the glass. You can see a bit of a reflection off the light above, but when the drawing is in the frame, you won't really be able to see anything like that once it's on the wall. And that's how the glass spacers fit in, look. So they're mitered here. So cut to 45-degree angle. But they're not joined like this. They don't have to be joined, so they're just slotted in loose, so they're like a perfect fit. Slots in like that. I'll reveal it in a minute once we've sealed this down. That fires the pins in, like tabs that secure this all in place. Just put a few of these in. We've got some brown like paper tape, which is what we use for just tidying it up really and keeping the dust out the back. So this is the tape, so the board's in place, tape all around the edge there on the inside, so that's just tidied it up and keeps the dust from going out inside glass. So basically that's like a barrier for the dust barrier. Got this label here which has got specific instructions. It's got to be placed in the back top right hand side of the artwork, so I'm going to do that right now. That goes there, just like that. Just got these mirror plates to attach now, which have been painted white here, so they blend in with the wall. So there's your mirror plates in place, looking at them from the back, and that secures it, and they can fix that to the wall then, so it's nice and secure, it's not going to fall off. That's the frame drawing, float framed, ready for transportation to Salisbury Museum for this landscape exhibition. You can see there, you can't really see any reflections, you see. Got the lights on in the studio, and you can't, when you look direct on like this, you can't see any reflections in the glass. That's the art glass for you. I think it's True View or art glass, I'm not quite sure which one it is. It looks like you can just touch the drawing, you see, that's the idea. So I hope that was useful. I found that useful. Just a little insight now to how I frame these drawings, float frame these charcoal drawings ready for galleries and exhibition. So thanks for watching, all the best, and bye for now. Watching them break it now.